Hello. So, as my first week of studying abroad in Salvador, Bahia, Brazil comes to an end, I just wanted to reflect on my experiences so far in my study abroad program. So, one thing I noticed as soon as I stepped foot in the airport in Florida was that everyone spoke to me in Portuguese who worked at the airline. So they already assumed I was Brazilian, which I found really interesting because I didn't realize how diverse the population of Brazil actually was until I stepped foot into the airport, because I had learned about Brazil and its population and the concept of race, but I never actually put that image into reality. So I was super excited and a little intimidated, to be honest, because as soon as I landed, this was completely unknown territory. I've never been in Latin America before. So when everyone was speaking a different language, I felt really lost and confused, but thankfully, since we're in this big program, I feel a lot more comfortable now. So our first couple of days were in Praia do Forte, and I had a really great time there. Um, I feel like since it was more of a smaller village, it allowed me to adapt and sort of get used to the culture, the food, and the people a bit more easily. So the first night we had dinner together and we had yakisoba, and I was like, no way, that's Japanese. But then I realized there's an incredibly large Japanese population, so I put that into perspective and I realized it's really cool how Brazil kind of adopts all these different cultures and then they kind of change them and form them into their own. And then another highlight of Praia do Forte was that we went to Proyecto Tamar, and I got to see live leatherback sea turtles in person, which was amazing. Even though I'm from Florida, I had never seen a turtle that close to me before, and I just really appreciate how there are environments where people are working towards biodiversity conservation. So we learned about sea turtles along Brazil's coastlines, and we also learned about the whales that come down to Brazil in warmer water to breed. And then once we went to Salvador, things also started changing for me because in Salvador, I had heard that it was a majority black population, but just the vast numbers of people there just amazed me. Like, I had never been in that sort of environment before. So, in this case, I felt like I kind of stood out a bit, and as soon as we went to our host families, I kind of felt singled out a little bit, and no one in my host family speaks English, so. But thanks to my roommate who thankfully speaks Portuguese, it's been easier for me to adjust to living in a new house and sort of kind of get the gist of the language, and luckily I have someone who can translate everything that I want to say, so I'm not just stuttering words. And finally, I've been loving class so far. Some topics I've learned about in the past, but it's really good to just, refresh and review on some things that I had been a little bit confused on, but was always afraid to ask. And since I'm with a smaller group of people, I feel a lot more comfortable, and I'm just so glad that we can be here for a whole month and just have a chance to explore the city, the culture, and learn about Afro-Bahian resistance. And it's only the first week, so I can't wait to see what's left to learn.